Welcome back everyone. Last time we took a look at the Kaguya trial deck, and now we will be looking at one of the ways to upgrade the deck, where we will be using the Fireworks display package. So this package includes 4 cards from the booster set that have some synergy with each other, and with 2 of our Kaguyas from the trial deck, namely the level 1 Climax combo Kaguya and the level 3 Vice President Kaguya. First, we start off with the main card from the package, which is the level 3 Miyuki. Now this guy has multiple effects, one of which is a heal on play, and the other 2 are actually Climax combos with the standby Climax. Now his first Climax combo allows him to stand one of your characters on Climax placement, which means that you can stand by a character onto front row, which does come in rested, and then stand it with the Miyuki so that that character can immediately attack the same turn. His second Climax combo gives him an additional burn for 1 if you manage to collect all required characters on board, the required characters being a copy of the Ishigami, the Chika, and the Vice President Kaguya. You can see that this creates a flavor packed build as you're reenacting getting the whole student council to watch fireworks together, which rewards you with some explosive finishing power. As for the other cards in the package, the Chika is a search brainstorm that is locked onto 2 specific climaxes, namely the Gauge from the trial deck and the standby climax from the Miyuki. As a trade-off for being restricted, we get to give a character +1 cape power if she does hit a climax. Now this payoff isn't that great, but she's still a tap cell search brainstorm that also gives our trial deck Kaguyas +500 power, so not that bad overall. Ishigami, unlike in the anime, is a pretty beefy boy. Being a 2/2 that reaches up to 10k on both attack and defense, he will be serving as our main standby target at level 1, and once we do get him on the board, he will be hard to get rid of as he does have built-in Hondan core. To add 4 copies of the Miyuki and 3 of the Ishigami, we can go ahead and remove all the Chikas from our top hand and the 1 copy of the event, while the Brainstorm Chika will just take the spot of our current Brainstorm. So now that we've included the package, you could technically play the deck like this, but I'd heavily recommend at least shifting the colors a bit. Namely, we're going to be putting priority on getting more red into the deck for our Miyuki and the standby climax. To do this, we preferably change our level 0s a bit to not require leveling red earlier than level 2. One of the best cards to do this with is this runner Kaguya. Now not only does she have a free run effect, she also acts as a reverser, getting rid of your opponent's beefy zeros. Between the oversized Kaguya and this runner here, there's almost no character you can't reverse in the early game. Since we do want to increase our red count while not lowering our blue, we can go ahead and replace some yellow cards by replacing the level 0 Chika assist for the Kaguya. The next change I want to make is add an extra possible standby target for at level 0 and level 1. That card being this 1/1i. And we don't really want to add too many level 1 standby targets, as we only have 4 standby climaxes and the climax combo at level 1 to prioritize. However, this I at 2 copies is still decent to include for the off chance of getting her on the board with the standby, as her ability of not getting reversed by a cost 0 can be brutal in some matchups. In fact, in those matchups, just hard playing her is also viable. You could replace the Chika level 1 with her if you aren't planning any further changes, but I'm going to replace the 1/1 Miyuki instead, as I will be replacing the Bonder in the next step as well. Now this next step might be a little bit controversial to some, but in testing this was a very fun inclusion and did help to mitigate some of the problems I mentioned about the level 1 Kaguya climax in the previous video. I will be adding this level 1 event, which allows you to give a character +500 power and the following 2 abilities, one of them being Twin Drive and the other being add 1 card from waiting room to stock at the end of the turn. Now with this card we can actually lower our hand size a bit to not waste a potential gate trigger, while also increasing our odds of triggering both the gate and the standby to accelerate our game plan. Having extra stock means we can spend more on our brainstorms and hand fixes, also allowing us to 3-stock encore our board if we get any of our strong characters out at level 2. Try not to overextend with using this event, as it can be costly to use it at the wrong moment. We will also immediately include 2 copies of this thumbs up eye that allows you to search your deck for 1 copy of the event, meaning that if the perfect time to use the event ever presents itself, you will be able to easily get it. At the same time, the eye serves as a possible discard outlet for our standby targets, which might be stuck in hand. To include this package, we will be removing 1 copy of the backup, the 2 Chika level 1s, and the 2 copies of the Bonder Ishigami. So now for some final tweaks. We can add this Kaguya level 0 that allows us to swap climaxes and also check the top 2 cards of our deck and rearrange them, which is a strong tool to have as you can use the rearrange to decide the order of cards that get triggered, or use the info of what you see to decide if you want to brainstorm or not. Then I want to go ahead and add 2 of the 2-1 refresh backups. Refresh being a combination of free and refresh, as it allows you to refresh your deck free of penalty at the cost of 2 additional stock. It's also a 2.5k backup that we can use to contest board on defense as well. We can remove one of the 2-1k assists and 2 of the level 0 eyes to include these cards. Now for the 50th card, since I do not know what you have added, you can keep whatever you had before, but I'll be opting for one of the level 2 oversized eye as an additional target for standby. If you have an extra copy of the trial deck or more money to spend, you can run an extra Vice President Kaguya instead. So that was mostly it for the deck. The cards necessary for this deck once again come at the cost of one trial deck plus around $20. While this deck might not see an amazing increase in power like the Bofur trial deck did, it's still a pretty decent upgrade and a very fun deck. After discussing it a bit with fellow ENTCG member ENTCG Ian, another possible inclusion came up, namely including some green cards and running the That's It event to protect our board even better at level 2. Such that we can try and keep spamming the Miyuki Climax combo. I might come back on how to include these cards in the future. For now you could probably get away with either replacing the level 1 event package or 2 copies of the backup and the A assist for a number of copies of That's It and the Chica level 3 assist. Together with a green brainstorm, we would technically have enough green to run the event properly. Anyway, that was it for this video. In the next video we'll be looking at a different Kaguya trial deck build, focusing more on blue and yellow cards, bringing back more Chicas as we did need to cut a lot of our cards here. Anyway, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.